I'm John Kovach. I've been a newsman, a sports announcer, and a football coach, but the one constant, since I was old enough to stand next to a stream with my dad, has been fishing. I've waded rapids, stood on slick rocks, hacked through ice, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do, and join me on this journey. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. John Kovach with you. Thursday, December 7th, 2017. We are joined in studio by three friends today. They're doing something really cool, and they want us to join them on this journey and be a part of it. Let's take a look. That a look at Fishing Chronicles, The Search. We're joined by the hosts and basically the guys who do this. Justin Suarez, Mike Preet, Chris Wall joining us in studio. Guys, thanks for stopping in. I'm really looking forward to seeing full episodes of Fishing Chronicles, The Search. Tell us a little bit about yourself, starting with you, Justin.
Thanks for having us. Started fishing when I was a little kid, lakes and ponds. And as I got older, I realized that I had a tremendous addiction to saltwater. Anything with fins I was going after. And as I got into my teens, I started with video production, studied that in college, and everything that I've done since then has been video and fishing.
And you're out of New Jersey, right?
Yes, sir.
And Mike Preet's been on the show before. Mike from Connecticut. Mike, tell us a little bit about your background.
Hi, thanks for having us. So I started out fishing with cane poles with my dad behind the Bilko company in West Haven when I was a young kid. And as I got older, we lived so close to the beach that I would head down to the local beaches and, you know, bluefish, snappers, striped bass, fluke, and I kind of honed my skills there. And as I got older, I moved on and started chasing pelagics out of Montauk and got on a fishing team and won a tournament in the 90s. And, you know, here I am now, you know, just chasing as many fish as I can for as much time as I can.
And Chris?
Thanks for having us, John. I started fishing much like these guys at a very early age. Grew up in Queens, New York, and there wasn't a lot of access to fish. My folks bought a place up in the Catskills, and I'd spend sun up to sundown chasing whatever would bite. Fast forward a handful of years, picked up the striped bass run in the Connecticut River when there was the spring run. There still is, but it's kind of died down. And that quickly took me out to the salt, and from there got into surf casting, fell in love with surf casting, and then took up kayaking to kind of open opportunities, I guess you could say. I currently fish for the Black Hall Outfitters fishing team in Old Lyme and Old Town Canoes.
Hey, I might recognize Chris. Chris was on our kayak fishing show a little over a year ago. So what is Fishing Chronicles, The Search about?
Fishing Chronicles, The Search is, we'd like to think it's unlike anything you've seen before. We're offering up, we're all learning together. We've known each other for years. We're good friends. And we take it from, you don't know everything. Every time we go out, we're learning something. And the show is more about teaching folks and arming them with knowledge, the knowledge of how to catch fish, why the fish are where they are, the migratory habits, what they're feeding on, and really empowering viewers to take that knowledge, put it in their arsenal, and go catch more fish.
Yeah.
That is kind of a refreshing approach to hear of, because I think there's a lot of shows that we're seeing a lot more fishing shows now, and I think we're seeing a lot of fishing shows where it's about what did we catch and not how did we catch it or why did we catch it. Are you guys trying to be different from that genre?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it's what we don't want is a highlight reel. You know, we've been fishing for so long. Collectively, I mean, there's 80 plus years of experience. And like Chris said, we learn every time we're out. We want to help pass along the things that we've learned to the viewers, to anybody that we come in contact with, because it's important that everyone that spends time on the water utilizes their time wisely and is able to put fish in the box or put fish on the deck if maybe they only have a day or a half a day to fish. So it's important to us to get that information out there.
So this seems too to be about a little more than fishing from what I've seen. You got a little conservation thrown in.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We have some conservation, some education on the biology and migration patterns, which is extremely important when you're going after a fish to know where they're going and where they're coming from, and it's very enjoyable to share that with the audience.
Now, you guys fished together a lot before this.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, in varying degrees too. I mean, on the boat, inshore, offshore, surf fishing, kayak fishing, kind of done a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you all come from different styles. So were you all basically learning from each other already before the show became an idea?
Yeah, absolutely. For example, if we go out flounder fishing or fluke fishing or sea bass fishing, there's 6 ways to skin a cat. Yeah. And Justin does it one way, Mike does it one way, I might do it a different way, and we learn from each other. And you pick up little tips and tricks along the way that in the end will make you a better fisherman. I might approach something differently from a surf caster's point of view or a kayak fisherman's point of view than Mike would as an offshore guy or Justin as inshore bottom fishing guru, you know?
Are you finding, and it's something that I've started to find more as I've explored different styles of angling, what I use for this species or what I use with this type of gear, I can cross apply to a different species or a different gear. Are you learning different ways to use knowledge and use skills and tactics that you might have picked up in one place that suddenly you're onto something that can be successful somewhere else?
Absolutely. You know, we fish in different locations in the Northeast, the Southeast, and some of the tactics that, you know, Mike uses that we all use for striped bass, you can go down and target tarpon and snook with and redfish. Yeah. Locally, you know, there's a lot of bottom fishing that we do with one rig, and last year it seemed to be that pink was the color. So we used pink rigs when we were flounder fishing, when we were sea bass fishing, and it was very productive.
What have you learned about fish in doing this?
Well, they never do what they're supposed to do.
Well, we know that.
You know, the little nuances that we're picking up on, for example, we were out on one trip where Justin had actually taken a tuna trolling skirt and ran it down on the bottom for fluke and sea bass. You know, for whatever reason, the fish that we were on didn't want the little baits that we were using. They wanted this, was it 8 inches long?
10.
They wanted this 10-inch trolling skirt. It was like a boom trolling lure for tuna. That's what they wanted. So it's, you know, so that was an eye opener for me. And you know, the little things that we're seeing we saw some of the fish do this past year, and coming from learning from each other, you know, it really helped our rigging and helped us to catch more fish.
Do you think there's enough of that in fishing today, or do you think there's a lot of strict adherence to this is how I do it?
A lot of guys don't think outside the box. They're, you know, I'm gonna use this high-low rig, or I'm gonna use, you know, a bunker chunk on the bottom of the sinker, and they, you know, maybe they didn't get a bite that day, or maybe they didn't catch their target species. You know, it might have been something as simple as taking the sinker off, or adding a small teaser to the hook, or, you know, just using a low rig or just a high rig. You know, you have to think outside the box, and you know, don't necessarily play the hand that you're dealt.
I think a lot of that comes down to adaptability at the end of the day. Whether you're trout fishing, fluke fishing, striper fishing, whatever species, it's knowing when to make a move. And don't go on, okay, these fish were here yesterday, or these fish were there last week. Why aren't they hitting what I'm throwing at them? Put that content in your gray matter and save it for a later date. Take notes, make fishing journals. That's a big thing that's helped us, I think, is keeping track of a lot of that content, because you'll easily forget it. I use it on my phone. I use notes on my phone instead of handwriting, and I know a lot of guys prefer to handwrite them. But for me, I can go back and say, okay, last year on this time, this moon was great in that location. I'll go and hit it as a baseline, as a starting point, but then I'll adapt and move on depending on what I think the fish are doing from there.
Great stuff, and I love to think out of the box concept and just that freedom. We're going to step out, hear from our sponsors. When we get back, we're going to talk more about Fishing Chronicles, The Search, on Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all, from Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Skep Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, skepchryslerjeep.com or skepdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now at the Black Friday sales event. Ends November 30th.
At Black Horse Garage, we fulfill all your sports car needs. We specialize in manufacturer-recommended service and aftermarket high-performance parts and installation. We have one of the nation's top storage facilities and offer a high-end collision department that understands your need for detail. Visit blackhorsegarage.com for more.
Weed & Duryea, New Canaan's home center and full-service lumberyard. Everything for your home and improvement projects. We also carry seasonal items, barbecue grills, housewares, newest LED light bulbs, doors, windows, and much more. Weed & Duryea, 21 Grove Street, New Canaan, a division of Northeast Building Supply.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today. Dr. Steve.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop, Thursday, December 7th. We're talking with Mike Preet, Chris Wall, Justin Suarez about Fishing Chronicles, The Search. It's a new project that they're working on. It's a show. It's different from what we've seen in traditional fishing shows in a number of ways. You're talking conservation, you're combining efforts, and it's more than, as Mike said, a highlight reel. How is filming Fishing Chronicles The Search different from when the three of you just fished together without a camera?
That doesn't happen. We don't fish without a camera. You know, when we started fishing all together, we all share the cameras, the job of the cameraman. So if one person's hooked up, the rest of us are filming. It's a group effort, but what happens is we're afraid of not getting the shot. So when we go fishing, the cameras are rolling. Absolutely, every day that we're out there.
Yeah, and we've run into situations too where all three of us are jigging, say for fluke. Justin will hook up, one of us will go to grab the camera or grab one of the cameras, and then you'll hook up. So now you're sitting there with, okay, I've got a rod in this hand with I'm kind of dead sticking a fluke on, and I'm trying to film Justin with the other hand and get everything in frame, and there could be some fire drills on the deck.
No doubt.
I'm going to let you in a dirty secret here because I've been filming this for a little bit. The day you decide I'm just going to go fishing and I'm not taking the camera, you will catch a personal best.
Oh, yeah.
And
Undoubtedly.
you will not have photographic evidence of that. I can
Undoubtedly.
tell you that without a doubt because it's happened to me more than once. The day you say, I'm leaving the cameras at home and I'm just going fishing for me,
Yeah.
Yep, it happened.
it's going to get you.
It happened this past year.
Has filming become, I know I find that I get the shot and it's as satisfying sometimes as catching the fish.
Oh, no
Do you
doubt.
find that?
No doubt. It's, we'll get back and look at the footage, and we're like, wow, the shot's amazing. You see it all comes together as a package. You have you have this little gem. You know, you've been chasing this little gem all day long, and here it is. You know, it really, it's awesome. It works out well.
What are some of the more interesting things you've run into? First off, where have you filmed for the initial season of Fishing Chronicles: The Search?
We hit Nantucket, Cape Cod, Connecticut, New York. Is that it?
Yeah, Jersey.
Jersey.
We for the first season. I mean, we're out of New England, you know, and we wanted to kind of bring a presence of New England back to shows. There's a lack of that right now. There's a lack of shows focusing on New England.
Yes.
But we have plans in the future. We stayed in New England the first time just to see how it worked, and also to make sure that we were kind of targeting species that we were somewhat familiar with or very familiar with, knowing that we can potentially get great footage. So from inshore all the way to offshore, we knew we had that gamut covered. Future episodes, we're talking about St. Lucia,
Barbuda,
Costa
Antigua.
Rica.
Yeah.
Start to travel a little
Yes.
more.
Yeah.
Like Justin and I will be in Costa Rica, I think, in March. So we're going to go there and try to shoot a little something. Hopefully Chris can come along. We're hoping.
What do you find more difficult to film? The boat, the kayak, the surf fishing?
They each bring their own little problems. I'd say from kayak it's tough because the boat's probably the easiest.
Yeah.
Because you know you've got shelter inside of a hull or something that you can keep in, or I think surf is probably tougher, which we've tried to film surf. The other issue with surf is Justin and I were talking about this the other day. We never film. Toby and I, when we go out, we never film ourselves in the surf because the landscape is so limited. Your access is so limited.
It's very difficult to
Yeah.
do, and when I have done it, just the one time, 2 times I have,
Yeah.
you've got to use a head mount, and you learn very quickly how much you move your head,
Yeah. Plus,
just in the simple act of breathing.
yeah. Plus, you're doing 90% of your fishing in the surf at night. So the boat is a little bit more forgiving. We can have multiple cameras set up. We can have underwater cameras ready to go. Your mobility is there.
You got fixed points that you could use.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw, I learned about the show through social media. Was happy to see when you sent the message out. How do you think social media has affected fishing?
It's affected it, in my opinion, it's affected it negatively. It just seems that anglers aren't happy for each other. There seems to be this, I don't know if you'd call it one-upping, or they're not happy. Anglers are not happy for their fellow anglers anymore. There's this underlying jealousy, or this
Animosity.
yeah, exactly. Or this animosity towards somebody that caught maybe their personal best or caught any fish, and we can't understand why. You know, everybody's out there to have a good time. Everybody's out there to relieve stress from the week's work or life or whatever. Why? You know, why are people doing this now? You know, we don't understand it.
I'm going to throw a question out too, and I'm trying to sort out my own feelings on this, but you talk about how Fishing Chronicles: The Search, it's about learning, it's about you guys learning, the viewer learning, trying different things. I think I've seen more and more where people have asked for help learning online, and maybe we as anglers have not been as receptive to offering them, maybe not telling them everything we know,
Yeah.
but telling them the right way to hold a rod and maybe where to start and maybe what they should be using. What are your feelings on that?
I try to help as much as possible. Like I'll inbox if I see something on social media. I won't do it on the board. I'll inbox the person, and be like, hey, you know, use Google Maps. You know, look at these points. Use Google Maps as your friend, or use Navionics. Chris, where do you stand on that?
Usually what I'll do, it's easier when you meet somebody face to face.
Right.
So say you're out fishing on a pier or something, or on a set of rocks, or even offshore. I'm much more apt to help somebody that way just because it's immediate. You know, I would absolutely reach out to them via Facebook or social media, but I think another avenue for these new people starting is to go attend seminars and
Yes.
attend things like that, attend swap meets, CSA or
Connecticut Surfcast is
Connecticut
a demo
Surfcast is-
day that's coming up the end of January.
Yeah.
I know
Yep.
Nutmeg Trout Unlimited is doing a start fly fishing and tag sale that's going to be coming up in early spring. So there's opportunities out there to meet anglers and learn. And then there's shows, and it sounds like you're trying to fill that need with shows
Exactly.
through what you're doing with Fishing Chronicles. You talked about fishing a lot around New England, the species you're comfortable with, but we see some exotic stuff in that trailer. Tell us about the sawfish.
Sawfish, I was down in Isle Morada, in the Keys, and we were fishing a man-made canal that led out to a larger body of water way in the backcountry, and we were shark fishing. That area gets loaded up with several species of shark, and in that area there's also known sawfish. They'll come up and hit the shark rigs, and we had caught about 6 or 7 sharks, and then the rod started doing some weird stuff. It started shaking and vibrating, but it wasn't taking off at a fast pace. And after I got about a 20-minute fight out of him, he came up and I saw the bill, and I went nuts because it's like, it's like a dinosaur.
It's a wild looking. I mean, it's a pretty amazing fish to see. Dream fish for you to catch.
Mike?
So I'm 0 for 13 on marlin, hookups versus drops.
Really?
Yeah. So that's my monkey right now.
Chris?
Giant grouper, I'd say.
Fluke over 16 pounds,
What's the biggest you got?
14-2,
That off Jersey? Or?
off Jersey, Sandy Hook.
Only 14-2,
Yeah.
Only 14 too. Yeah, that's all. Only 14 too. Yeah, you can't get many fillets out of that.
Sandwich.
What do you want people to take away from Fishing Chronicles?
I think it's to show folks that we are just like them. That if you could picture yourself in a boat with somebody, it's a success. But also take away the migratory, the science behind what we're doing, the science, the know-how, and really piece that together and further encourage folks to go and dig up this knowledge for themselves. So if we're targeting sea bass, and they might want to go for largemouth bass or any other species, pick one of 1,000 other species, they could take that wireframe that we've laid out for them and apply it to any species.
You've got a podcast coming up?
Yes. We should be rolling it out after the first of the year.
Okay.
We'll have more details on that. It's a work in progress, but we'll roll the details out on that shortly, probably right after the holidays.
Let us know. We'll promote that. Stick
Undoubtedly.
around. We've got one more segment to go. We're going to step out. We'll be back with more Yankee Fisherman presented by the Dock Shop right after this. The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Yeah, Dad.
Kyle, I need you to update the financial statements.
I took care of that yesterday, Dad.
Mac, I need you to get those deals approved.
They're all done, Mr. Miller.
Jeff, I need you to order lunch for the meeting. They can't do a thing without me.
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
I'm never going to retire.
Bankwell combines the best personalized service with high-tech banking features for our customers' convenience. We pride ourselves on being a strong community partner. You don't settle for average in anything else you do. Why settle for an average bank? Don't just bank when you can bank well instead. Visit mybankwell.com for more. Manfredi New Canaan is celebrating 3 exceptional years selling Rolex watches and fine jewelry to the Fairfield County community. We appreciate all our loyal clients and look forward to welcoming and helping you discover the perfect gift to celebrate life's most important occasions.
At Galt, we always put you first. As your full-service home heating partner, we provide expert delivery, installation, and maintenance for all your heating needs with knowledgeable, friendly professionals that give you peace of mind 24/7. Galt Family Companies, you first since 1860.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. I want to thank Justin Suarez, Mike Preet, Chris Wall for spending the afternoon with us talking about Fishing Chronicles, The Search. You can follow what they're doing on Facebook. The page is under that name. The big thing I take out, knowing you guys and seeing what I've seen of Fishing Chronicles, it's you guys have fun. How do we get the rest of the angling community to start to enjoy themselves outwardly a little more?
I think going back to the social media etiquette, you'll see a family goes out fishing. It might be the only day in the month, and this kid's going to have a great experience. They put up a 4-pound fluke. They say it's 6 pounds. Everyone starts arguing about the weight. Instead of, grabbing that moment in time, that experience that child is going to grow up loving fishing, you just turn the enemy. Just turn that child into an enemy of fishing by giving them a terrible experience. We want to make sure that our audience is enjoying not only what they're learning, but getting out there with their family, with their friends, and having a good time. That's what, at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Is the search for fish, or is the search for a good time?
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
I'm okay with any answer.
If somebody that follows us or watches the videos or sees us on television says, you know what, I'm gonna help this person the next time they're on the pier or they're on the beach, it's a success for us. We're looking to try to start this movement in the fishing industry where anglers are helping each other again. It's something that's been lost over the last few years, and it seems to be getting worse.
I would have to agree with that, unfortunately. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot more of Fishing Chronicles, The Search, as it rolls out, and we can see full all of these trips that you guys took and see the exchange of knowledge that is so crucial to making a successful angler. Just an update on a story we did last week. We were up on the Deerfield with the Deerfield River Watershed chapter of Trout Unlimited looking for reds, and they found more now. And the section that had about 20 reds when we were up there, they've now identified in excess of 60 active nests of wild trout. So good news there. And our sponsor, the Dock Shop, has some holiday events coming up. The annual Women's Night is December 13th. That's at the Darien store, 51 Tokenique Road in Darien. Men's Night is December 20th, also at the Darien store. They are both 3 to 8 p.m., but a new event is Customer Appreciation Day. That is Saturday, December 17th, and that is at the Westport store, 609 Riverside Ave. That's going to do it for this week's Yankee Fisherman. We'll be back next week. We'll keep you up to date on Fishing Chronicles, The Search, and hopefully you guys get out there. Tight lines. I'm John Kovach. I've been a newsman, a sports announcer, and a football coach. But the one constant, since I was old enough to stand next to a stream with my dad, has been fishing.